Today I'm cutting Cr Yag, also known as Christmas Garnet. Stay tuned to see how you can get a chance to get your hands on this dye. This rough was sent over from Angry Turtle Jewelry. They obtain the coolest synthetic crystals and make them available to the rest of us. This stone has a green base with very intense red fluorescence, so in certain lights, both colors will sort of compete for a totally unique look. This crystal is grown for use in lasers, but not as laser crystals. Instead, it's used as a Q switch. As I understand it, it will hold back laser light until a certain power is reached, and then it will release all of the energy at once, creating a powerful pulse laser. Rybonator is a fellow YouTuber with a wicked pun game, and he's making a sister video to this, detailing the process. So check it out, link in the description. Alright, I want to capture this before I get started, because this is a good shot how you can see the red competing with the green. Oh boy, I can't wait to see what this thing looks like faceted. When all that starts to mix, it's gonna be crazy. Okay, let's get started. Alright, 600 grit is done. You can really see how the red's competing with the green. I can't wait to see how the red competes with the green when this is actually faceted up and light's bouncing around inside there. Next we're going to pull out a copper lap and do 1200 grit. On that copper lap I'll finish up these sides and then I'll also cut in the star facets. And actually for this Christmas Yag, I'm using 1200 grit. I've got a little chapstick that's got it in there. I just rub that on there and then that's good to go. Alright, this is the final shape. Got 1200 grit done. Next we'll do 3000 on the main facets, and then 8000 on everything, and then 50,000 for the polish. This video is not sponsored and I'm not being paid to say this, but I want to talk to you about Level Up Dice. I've worked with Level Up Dice for years, and I think they're amazing people. So I've got two things I want to tell you. First, this die could be yours. They're selling advent calendars that will have a bunch of amazing dice in them, and one of the calendars will have this very die in it. Second, I've partnered with Lud to bring you star cut resin dice. They make resin dice in my star shape with amazing patterns, so go check out their calendars or pick up a star resin die. All right, from here on out, we're going to be using zinc and tin laps. We're going to do 3,000, 8,000, and then 50,000 grits. So there's our 3,000 grit diamond. We'll use this only on the main facets, and then we'll do 8,000 on the star and the mains. Takes very little. All right, so I've cut about 1.5 facets, or pre-polished 1.5 facets with this slab. And now it's kind of clogged up and ready to be cleaned off. And this is really where a lot of the art of faceting kind of comes in, at least in my opinion, is knowing how much polish to have on the lap versus how much swarf, and kind of keeping things clean. But you gotta have a little bit of something there or it won't cut at all. I just finished up one of the faces and we got a problem. Some piece of this must have chipped off onto the lap and it tore up this face. We're gonna have to go backwards a couple steps and grind it out. You can see it right there. Back to 1200. We're lucky this scratching happened on the first side because it allows us just to cut the whole stone a little bit deeper into the rough. If it were to happen on the second side, we'd actually have to flip the stone back over and recut some of the faces on the first side to kind of bring everything back into alignment. So I'm cleaning everything up here because after that scratching I'm paranoid, and I'm just going to try and make sure everything is super squeaky clean so that we don't have any issues like that going forward. So with 3,000, 8,000, and 50,000 diamond, you don't use water anymore, you use oil. And the thing about that is you don't have something constantly flushing the lap, so you have to kind of clean it off manually. And so that right there is dust of diamond and the CrYag that I'm cutting. And this is like a tricky balancing act of keeping the lap clean enough so that you get good results, but also having enough diamond on there so that it actually keeps cutting. To me, it reminds me of like paint and trying to have the exact right amount of water in an acrylic paint so that it flows just right. So I'll try and show this off. It can be tricky going from the 8,000 to the 50,000 grit polish, but here's 8,000. You can kind of see how there's not really scratches, it just looks maybe like almost dirty, but I've polished this face and you'll see the difference. There's just nothing there. It's a mirror. Dirty.